Get out of my video. Okay, so tonight I wanted to talk a little bit about the free group structure. Now, I'm going to kind of go through the way that I do it. This is not the end all be all. You can certainly do free groups in a multitude of ways. But I found that this, for me, makes a lot of logical sense, and I think has given me the best response as far as turning people over from the free groups into challenge groups. So let me make this bigger so I can actually see what I'm, well, that didn't work. Hold on. That's better. Can you guys see that okay? Okay. All right, so the first thing when I'm setting up my free groups and scheduling my posts is I kind of organize it into 3 different sections. The first part of it I like to call my pre-party. So let's say I've got a week-long group. It's going Monday to Saturday. Usually what I'll do is I'll actually invite people in Friday night before the actual start on Monday. And I have a couple of posts in there to kind of get them all on the same page and prepared to start together on Monday. So a couple of things that I'll put in those pre-party days. So Friday night through Sunday night. I usually start with a welcome post, and it's just something like get to know you, icebreaker type thing. Even if, I know all the people, they don't necessarily know each other, and it's just a fun way to get conversations started and to learn something new about, people that you invited too. So typically that's how I started off, and then I'll have a post that talks about what to expect. So this is where I'm going to, again, remind them of what the group is about, what the structure of the group is going to be, and what I'm expecting them to do. So that could be, I'm expecting you to post once a day on, if it's a clean eating group, I'm expecting you to post pictures of what you ate that day. If it's, if it's like a Shakeology sampler group, I'm going to expect them to post a picture of their Shakeology and what recipe they did. So things of that nature. Preparation posts. So these are things like, again, if we use the clean eating group as an example, I'm going to say, okay, we're getting ready to do a week of clean eating. So I need you to go through your kitchen cupboard and throw out all the junk, things like that. Or, make your grocery list or plan out your meal for the week, your menu for the week. Go grocery shopping, do your meal prep. So those are all preparation type posts. Tools and tips. So usually, especially with like a clean eating group, I will add files to the group that are helpful in helping them plan for the week. And then I just put a post in there letting them know how to access the files and what's there for them to use. And then I also, depending on what type of group it is, sometimes I see Carrie's cat. I just saw a big cat walk across the screen. Sorry. So usually if it's, depending on what kind of group it is, maybe I'll have some sort of prize offer or incentive for completing the daily tasks. And I let them know that ahead of time so they know what they need to do to be eligible. So I am going to, once I finish going through this, I'm going to share a group that I did in the past and kind of actually show you guys examples of these things. But for right now, let's move on to the second category. So these are the main posts during the week. So again, like Monday through Friday, for that free group is when we're all doing the activities that they wanted to join the group for. So I'll have daily posts Monday through Friday, asking them to check in, reminding them to check in, to post either their pictures or whatever it is that the group is based on. Obviously, it's very important for you as the person leading the group to actually be doing the activities as well. So again, using the clean eating group as an example, I would post pictures of my food and recipes and things that I was doing that week, to let them know, like, this is how I do it, and to give them then that extra motivation to do it on their own. Sometimes, depending on the group, I'll have little mini challenges in there. For example, coming up actually next week, myself, Bobby, and Karen are doing a week-long, we're calling it March Madness, and we're kind of basing it off of the idea of 21 Day Fix, the workout program. And what we're doing is we each picked a day, well, 2 days next week, and we're working on a specific type of exercise and giving them things to do, little mini challenges. So like I was in charge of upper body and yoga. So I found these cool like mini diagrams on Pinterest. Pinterest is really great for this kind of stuff, that actually like said what the move was. It showed how you do it. It explained like how many reps or how many seconds you're supposed to do them. So I literally just took those, copy and pasted, and scheduled it in Hootsuite for the group. And then I just, I tell them this is how you do it. And I, check in under this post when you have completed the mini challenge. So that's an example of one thing that you could do. I've also seen things like, Flex Friday, like everybody show me your favorite muscle and flex and take a picture. So there are just little things to like get people more involved and make it fun. Breadcrumbs. So this is something I learned on a training call, and I forget how I got invited to it, but it was, it's not our upline, but it's somehow related to Chrissy, and it's like someone that she knows. I don't know. So they had this training video, and the one girl was talking about how in her free groups, whatever the purpose of that free group is, whether it's clean eating or working out or hydration or, whatever it is, the goal there, the end goal is you've, spent a week with those people and you've built relationships, and now you want to try to convert them into customers. So in the free groups, what she does is she'll have at least 1 or 2 posts during that week that mention something about whether it's maybe the 21 Day Fix portion control, if it's clean eating group, or an actual workout program that she's doing. Not necessarily saying you should do this, but just letting them know it's something else that you do. But not putting any pressure or salesiness or anything on that. Because a lot of people, believe it or not, still don't get that we get paid to do this by helping them, get set up with a program. So that's one thing I definitely recommend you doing. Other things you could post about are just little mini fitness and nutrition tips, or any like kitchen hacks that you've discovered that have helped you with meal prep and that sort of thing. I kind of sprinkle those in throughout the week too. And the last nice thing once in a while is to put in, a nice motivational quote, something to get them all kind of thinking. And sometimes you can actually make this a mini challenge too. I know Bobby did this once. And she asked them all to share their favorite motivational quote. And that actually was like, it was very engaging because everybody in the group commented on it. It was like the longest string of comments that we had in the group for the whole week. So it's the whole thing with all of these is just what is it that's going to provide value for the people in your group, is going to make them see you as someone that they can trust, someone that is quote unquote an expert, and that they may want to continue the relationship with. And then lastly, the wrapping it up. So the last day, which is always a Saturday for our free groups, this is where I will post a thank you, saying thanks so much for spending the last week with us. We hope you learned something, or you found this useful. And then I always ask for their feedback. What could we have done better to make this more helpful for you, or what did you really like about how we ran the group? This is also the time where, if at the beginning of the group you talked about the possibility of winning a prize, where you would do the raffle and announce the winner. And then I also will usually have a post that kind of explains to them what's next, meaning if they're like, okay, let's say it's a a clean eating group, and I might say something like, if you feel like this has been very helpful with your nutrition, but you've been kind of thinking about how to get back into a fitness program again, then maybe that's an area that we can help you as well. And I just say something like, your coach who invited you into the group will be in touch to discuss this further if you're interested, or something like that. So that's basically how I structure, or myself and my 2 success partners structure, our free groups. So I'm gonna change this now and share my Facebook. Here. So I can actually see it. Oops, let me close these. Okay, so this is our free group that we did in February. We based it around Fixate. And kind of our goal with that was to get people to sign up for, the month free trial of Beachbody On Demand. So they would have access to the Fixate cooking show. So again, it's a free way to get them into, what Beachbody is about. And when they're in there looking around at things, it's much easier to come back to them after the group is over and say, hey, did you see that there's also fitness programs in there? Did you get a chance to check any of them out? And then explain how they can convert into customers. So I'm just going to kind of scroll through a little bit here. So you can see I added the files. That's the first thing I do before I actually add anybody in the group. And then here at the beginning, this is my thing where I'm saying there's an added bonus. Every time that you post a picture this week, you'll get your name entered in the raffle to win the cookbook. Okay. And then here was my post about kind of what to expect. I explained there's the file section in the group. I reminded them, in case they hadn't already done it, to go sign up for their free trial so they have access. And then I also reminded them to throw out all the junk food. Okay, and then this is going into day 1. So here I'm actually showing what I ate. These might be a little out of order, by the way, just based on when people posted. But here was the initial welcome post, where again, you can see there's a couple of things I have them, things that kind of help me get to know them a little bit. I mean, the hobby thing is just something fun to learn about people. Learning about their favorite meal gives you a little more insight into their nutrition. And, here I'm asking about their meal prep. And again, it's going to give me insight into whether they are actually actively planning their week outs or not. Okay, and this was Karen's post. And so here she's showing or explaining how we go about doing meal prep. Again, these are still the pre-party posts. And then Bobby talked a little bit about what the 21-day fix system's all about with the containers. And then here people are, again, posting their food. So this is the part where, during the week, everyone is just kind of posting what they ate, what they made. I'm going to scroll to the end here. Again, we sprinkled some things in here. So here Bobby was talking about an app people can use to help them monitor the nutrition when they're grocery shopping. So that was a cool little tip. And here, you know, again, I'm just reminding people to make sure they're posting their pictures. Here was my one tip that was talking about how nutrition is definitely very important when it comes to health and fitness. But so here was my breadcrumb where, you know, I'm saying, you know, if you're thinking about getting into that bikini or slim trunks, that maybe we could help in the area of fitness as well. And then there's the thank you and feedback. So that's pretty much how we set up most of our groups. It's worked pretty well for us. I mean, we've been doing it for a couple of months, maybe 3 or 4 months now, and it's been working pretty well. So, okay, I'm going to unmute you guys now. Do you guys have any questions or anything to add you know, from free groups that you have done that you have found to be helpful for you? No? I did a good job tonight? Okay. All right. So hopefully, you know, that gives you a little, maybe it gives you some ideas for groups that you're doing. Now I was really just touching on kind of our little mini free groups. I do like, you know, how Carrie, how you have that purely motivational group. I think that's also really cool because it's a way to get people active without pressuring them to have to buy a program. And a way, again, to build trust. So things like that, kind of free challenge groups that are, you know, longer running are also very good. I don't have, you know, anything bad to say about that either. I think that's served you really well. So, all right. Well, that's all I have for tonight, guys. Thanks for joining and enjoy the rest of your week. See you later.
Yeah.